Hi, everybody. This is Starlene Breiter. I am here with my dear friend, Fiona Stolze. We are going to be talking about some really inspirational stuff today. Thank you for joining us either on Facebook or on YouTube. This is the first time we're using the software too, so it's kind of fun. If it's a little bit, we're trying to figure it out, be patient with us, but I think we got it figured out. I'm excited about today. Fiona Stolze is a great friend of mine. We have been friends for nearly 10 years now, I think, Fiona, right? I think that's been it. She is a beautiful silk artist. Well, she's actually an artist all around, and she makes beautiful paintings and all kinds of stuff. And she's also the author of her own mandala oracle deck. So it's really cool. So hi, Fiona. I'm going to say hi and let you say hi to yourself or hi yourself, and maybe tell us a little bit about your oracle deck.
Sure. Okay, thanks for having me, Starlene. Really excited to be here. And it's really sweet because we've sort of come full circle, haven't we? We met about 10 years ago, I think it was, wasn't it? We met about 10 years ago online. So we've been online friends. We've never met in person, but we've done quite a few things. It's been really lovely. So yeah, I've done lots of different things. And yeah, I think you're right. Creative artist, lots of silk, wearables, wall art. And, over the years, I painted lots of mandala paintings. And I was always a really, really avid collector of decks. I had every deck that was going. Well, that's an exaggeration, but I had lots and lots of them. And it was just like at the back of my mind, I knew that one day I'd have my own deck. And as I collected these mandalas, it really became clear to me that they would be the new baby that was going to sort of give birth to, so to speak. I was going to create my own mandala deck from these. And I did over a couple of years via Facebook, and you were there and supported that experience in a big way. And I've worked with them ever since. It's been really sweet. When you get to know a deck really well, you know what it's like. You sort of resonate with it, don't you? And it's been really something quite different to create these cards of mine. I'll just show you one or two. I've got one painting on the back, sort of in pastel color, but they're all just the mandala with the topic underneath. There's complete honesty, love and appreciation. I just wanted to share the artwork with people and give them as a gift. Well, as something for people to work with on a daily basis and get inspiration from. So I'm really excited to be here, Star, and doing readings
I
together.
am too, because, a little backstory on Fiona and I, we met on Blog Talk Radio. We both had our own shows on Blog Talk Radio, and we're probably 10, maybe 11 years ago. I don't remember, to be honest with you, but it's been a long time. And we met through who the mutual friend introduced us, and we just hit it off, and we've done different things online. And I'm a very creative too. My work is art in the sense you actually got me into painting, just myself, acrylics, but I love that. But my work until then has always been jewelry and stuff like that, and just different creation. And I think it's so interesting how, when we met, you were doing those cards, and then you made the deck, and then now you're sharing them. Are you on the second or the third printing of them? I can't remember of that deck.
This is the third print. It's really exciting. It's always, yeah, and it's funny. At the end of the second print, I was thinking, we'd moved to Canada, and I was sort of stuck and tied up in lots of immigration stuff, and my mind was really, distracted. And I thought, should I? And you know how the universe works. At that time, I had people contacting me saying, "Are you considering doing another run of these?" And I thought, okay, so I did. I arranged for a third run to be made, and I'm really happy I did. And it's really a sweet little baby to have. And
it really is, and they're so beautiful. I have them as well, and I couldn't wait to get them because you signed it for me and everything. And I remember I was just amazed because your mandala that you actually painted is what each one of those pictures are. So they're not just pictures you did online. Not that there's anything wrong with doing pictures online as far as digital artwork, but those were paintings that you did and you put meaning behind them. And being that you're a triple Cancerian woman, your sun, moon, and rising in Cancer, naming it the Sea of Calm, it was like you just embody that to me. So I just love that about you. Have that sweet, very, very calming energy, and so do your cards, your decks. I'm more of a tarot person, but I do like selective oracle decks. But your deck is like one of the ones that I thought would be absolutely beautiful. I mean, I thought it would be cool, like, for us to do it when we were talking about doing this collaboration. We've done different ones in different contexts over the years, but I thought how cool, because these cards to me are like love, right? They just, not that they read love as in boyfriend, girlfriend, all that they can do that. It's more like my heart, the love that's really soul, connected to the soul. And so we're right in front of Valentine's Day, and we were like, it was a couple weeks ago, we were talking about this, and we were like, oh, it's right in front of Valentine's Day. I'm like, wow, how perfect with your deck, because it's such a good idea, because it's really talking about love. And on my video on Monday, I was talking about love too, because of course it's Valentine's Day, my video for the week. And I said, make sure you have self-love for yourself. And a couple of people commented and told me, like, what you said about love really resonated. And I was like so excited to share you too, because I know where you speak to someone, which I love. And I've consulted with you at times before when I needed to get in my heart. But you always say that, like, drop in your heart and get in your heart center, because that's just the way I look at your cards too. They seem like they are just something that really speaks from the heart, outward, and it makes sense the way that you created them and everything like that.
That's lovely to hear. Thanks for that feedback. It's amazing how you get to know the deck once it actually gets released out there to people, and people start working with it and playing with it, and they start to give you feedback. And I think that's really sweet. You said the heart energy, that's exactly it. It's like if the next step is always drop back into your heart, drop into that stillness, drop into that quiet, and just let the heart speak. And you're going to hear it, aren't you? You're really going to hear it if you get honest and let it speak back to you. But I love how today then, so we've decided we're going to sort of read in tandem, aren't we, Star? So I've got my deck here, and you've got a deck with you, and so as people call in, we're gonna both share something with them, which is a lovely touch, I think. So
right, and what I thought would be good for us to start off with, as we tell people, feel free to say hi in the chat, and to everybody that has come in. I see Diana and Psychic Samandi and Tina and Galante and Stacy Ann. Welcome. Hi. Thank you guys for joining us. This is so much fun. Why don't you and I pull a card to start with and talk about that, and then people can ask if they want a card, and if they want a card, we'll piggyback off each other, like you said, and share our thoughts. A lot of times, I know we used to do this when we would write it out, Fiona. Remember that? And then people would be like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you got this card, and this card is the same one." And this is like so much fun when we did that together. So
yeah. So let's set the scene. So I'm just going to shuffle here. And so, which cards are you using today, Star? Which ones have you picked?
I was going to use my cat ones, but then I decided to use this one. It's called the Saki Saki Tarot. I'll show you guys. It's a really dear friend of mine gave them to me, and I'm using them because it's an artist deck, and it's very artistic and kind and beautiful. So I thought I would use my cat tarot, but these are the ones I grabbed. So yeah.
So this will be like setting the scene, won't it? So,
Allison, that is super awesome of you. She says that is the first deck I bought, and I bought it solely because of Fiona's artwork. How sweet is that?
Thank you, Allison.
Yeah, that's super sweet. So, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Yeah, whatever. I've picked one. I'm just gonna. I hope everyone can see these when I hold them up. So the first one is Grace. Okay. So the Grace card, a real touch of sweetness, and I really feel this is lovely, so close up to Valentine's Day. Grace, we're all going through life, aren't we? We're going through difficulties, we're going through challenges, we're meeting with obstacles. We just never know what the person in the street's going through. You think you're caught up in all the problems, and then you walk past someone in the street and you just don't know what kind of baggage and load they're carrying with them. But the truth is, in life, the more we open our heart, the more we ask for support and call out, we do get touched by grace. We really, really do. It's in those moments when we get really honest and really clear and become really humble. So this message, this is all about you finding those moments of stillness to really get that connection with Source and really sweetly ask for help. And then you'll see the beauty of it touching you. You see how things open up. You see how it's almost like time stretches sometimes. You see how people reach out unexpectedly with resources that you didn't know were there. And then you just have this feeling like light shines on the horizon, doesn't it? It's like, it's all going to be okay. I'm being looked after. I'm being held. So I think that the grace card is very much about the divine. It's like putting its arms around you and giving you that hug and saying, you're going to be okay. You're on the right track. You're on the right path, and just keep you being you. Okay.
I love that. So this is so funny that I pulled this card. This is the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups, it's reversed. And I pulled it reversed. I wanted to share it with you reversed. But I don't generally read reverse cards, but I will explain to you why I'm going to with this one. The Two of Cups is like the Lover's card in that major arcana. This is the minor arcana. As you see, these two figures they're headless, but this is the artist deck, so they would be seeking into each other's eyes, and they are standing on these cups that are so full and so beautiful. They're holding hands. This is like a beautiful kind of scene. And the thing is with the Two of Cups is that this is like falling in love with someone or something. And the way I'm interpreting this with the connection to grace is like, in a sense, because upside down means kind of like you're lacking it or you're seeking it and you're feeling like it's not there, but it is. But kind of like that. But I feel like what it's talking about with the grace is really finding that love in you, because I think we forget that sometimes, to remember to find that love within ourselves. We seek something because we want it, because we want to have something hold our attention, as opposed to just being still within and being loving what's within, then like that radiating outward in some graceful way, like Fiona, you were putting. And I feel like that's what this is saying. And this is the perfect timing for Valentine's Day. If you don't have a Valentine's, you have you, right? Like I think that should be everybody, right? I mean, like, sure, have a whatever else you have, but I think that's important for us to remember. Like, we have to love us first, number one first, because that keeps the balance. And in that is when you drop the ego and you just love yourself. You take care of your body, mind, and soul in every way that you can to get you to the space that you want to be in, that happy, blissful kind of energy that you want to be in. So I think that's a nice card following up after the grace. And the fact that it's upside down makes me think, if you're lacking this in your life somewhere, then this card is really, really speaking to you. So some of us I know can do a little bit better. So maybe, do something extra this weekend, that you can do something just a little bit extra to make yourself feel better and, allow that energy to radiate outward from you. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, okay, so we have a few people that are here that would like us to read a card for them. So I figured we could do that. Let's see, let's go up the chat. Okay. The first person that said they'd like a card is Galente. Galente, here we are. Can I have a card? So I'm just gonna throw a card. If you have a question, like it could be like a quick question, or like say about a topic or something like that, but we don't really want to answer like yes or no questions or go into life stories. We just want to give you guys one card each, so you guys can, hopefully we can get to everybody that asks for one and talk about some other cool stuff in the middle. So just feel free to type that in there in the chat and we will just get through as many as we can.
Yeah,
So
I just wanted to add there, Star, I noticed so many lovely people have connected and there's just too many to respond to at once, aren't there? So hi and love to all of you, and it's really sweet to be here. Thank you for all your comments. And as Star said, so just ask directly for a card rather than us, you know, all you lovely people that have added your comments, rather than us presuming you want a card. Just if you could actually say, can I have a card? And then we can try and get through you all. But thank you for showing up. It's so sweet to have you.
Yes, thank you so much. Okay. So I'm going to pull the first one since I've pulled one for Galante. Galante, this is the 6 of Cups. And as you can see, there's a teapot in the middle right here. And then you can see all the cups, and all the cups are full, if you can tell, right? And then there's all these beautiful flowers around. This is really talking about memories, loving, happy memories, positive memories, thinking about family connections. You know, this card is like bringing sweetness to action. So in some sense, I guess you're being asked to bring some sweetness into your life. You know, the tea here is here, and the teacups are full, but they're full of like not black coffee, which is bitter. They're full of like either coffee with sugar in it or honey in it or something like that. So my point in saying that is like a metaphor. Put some sugar or honey into your life. You know, where can you do that good stuff and make yourself feel good and positive in this next bit of time? You know, when can you do that, or how can you do that? So I think that this would be a great card for you to kind of ponder over this Valentine's weekend. And what card did you have for her?
Okay, I've got one that actually, listening to what you said, Star, it really ties in nicely. So it's the Cosmic Web card. There we go. It's a mandala with all these threads, all the weavings going in and out, holding everything together. So the Cosmic Web, it does tie in beautifully with this. The 6 of Cups, as you see, it's like childhood memories, nostalgia, going back to where you feel safe and where you feel like in a cocoon and loved. And it's interesting tying in with what we spoke about a few minutes ago. But the Cosmic Web is also very much about, don't be afraid to reach out, Galante, reach out to others. Now, I don't know if you have a tendency to want to be a lone wolf. You want to do things yourself, want to say, just, I can do this, I don't need any help. Take the help. Reach out. You'd be amazed at what resources will flow to you now, especially in this time. Remember that resources needn't be someone coming to you with money or someone coming to you with some physical object. The resources can be giving you that lovely support, pouring you full of love, just telling you it's all going to be okay, it's all going to be all right. And your part in this is to open your heart and be okay with asking others for help, okay? So use the Cosmic Web.
Oh, I love that. That goes so well with the 6 of Cups too.
That's for
awesome.
Sure.
Yeah. So, okay, we'll take one more and then maybe talk about a couple other things. How's that sound?
Sounds great. Yeah.
Okay.
So after Galante, there's Margot. May I have a card read? I'd love to hear about change in my life.
There we go, Margot.
Star, I tell you, be careful, and we can.
Yeah.
You know what's about the start when everyone turns up in a space together and shares the love, and these readings get done. I'm always very clear. There's something always specific to the person you're speaking to, but generally that energy, it's all for us. So whoever's listening in right now, all of this is being poured into you with love. So hope you can receive something as well. Yeah.
Thank you for reminding us all of that. I feel the same exact way, Fiona. So awesome.
So, okay, so this was specifically about change in Margot's life, Star. Do you want to What have you
Want
got?
me to start? You can start or I can start. It doesn't matter.
Okay, all right, then I'll start with this one. So I have Marco, I've got the acceptance card. Okay, now I really get the feeling that, in times when we're looking for change, there's always a big element in that moment of, yes, being ready, being open, being sort of, oh, just show me what's coming. I'm going to grab it. I'm going to run with it. But there's also that element of the unrest, the sort of impatience, almost like the non-acceptance of what is in that moment. And I get a real sense that perhaps it almost feels like the acceptance is saying that there's something that needs to be brought to a natural end. There's something that needs to be sort of tidied up and sort of sorted in some sort of way. I don't know if it's to do with your work or if it's something to do with family and friends. There's some aspect in there that's asking you to just really slow down and tidy up the ends. Do a bit of due diligence and take care of that. The acceptance is just saying it's okay. It's okay not to be moving on just yet, and you will. You're definitely going to move on. You're going to move on. There's some new stuff opening up, but you can't rush into that right now. That's the feeling I'm getting. So don't be impatient with yourself. Don't try and push it. I'm just gonna I don't know. I'm just going to see here. Yeah. It feels very much like I sometimes pull a second card, and the second one there was the heart connection. Fits in very beautifully with the whole grace and the Valentine's topic. Heart connection. Just slow down, Margot. Keep your heart wide open. Keep your heart open. And I'm just going to throw something in there. You can't selectively have your heart open and love people. It can't be closed to some and open to others. It's either open or it's not. Just open it. Just eat that humble pie. Just lovingly lay everything down. Come clean. Get honest. Let the love absolutely flow. Also to those that it's really difficult to do it with. I've got a feeling there's someone, you've got some sort of business, something you need to sort out with someone, and just acceptance of your situation. It's going to clear. You're going to move on. Star, what do you want to add to that?
Yeah, so I have the 8 of coins here. And as you can see possibly in this picture, there's the scissors and the thread, and the coins look like patchwork, right? It just means like this person's very busy doing their work, and it's sensing that, you need to, in some sense, start doing your craft, doing your work, doing what it is that you need to do. So you ask the question about change in your life, and I feel like there's work to do. I don't mean, maybe it is regarding actual making money type work, but I think it's more inner work, more heart work, like we were talking about and Fiona was saying, that it will help you to get to that space. But use the energy, use this as motivation. Like, know that you need to get up and put one foot in front of the other and start making it happen for yourself, because in some sense, taking that, time to reflect is important, but then putting some kind of action to it, to your work, to what's moving you, is important. You have to kind of blend the two, because that's how you get through the change, because sometimes the change feels scary because our ego goes, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's coming up next. And that's scary. But we have to trust. And when we trust that we're doing the right thing, the right work here, then that's when we get, okay, we're cool. We're good. We're moving into a space of tackling the change, in a sense that is healthy and good, and making it healthy in your life. So I feel like there's definitely a lot going on, but I feel like the more you keep yourself attuned to the ear, your soul, your vibration, attuned to spirit, the better off that you're going to be through this process, if that makes sense.
Star, it was interesting watching you hold that card up. From an artist's point of view, it looked like an upside down heart as you held it up.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, like this right here.
Yeah, which is really sweet. Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't it sweet? I love that. That's so cute. I
Yeah.
know my client gave me these and I love them, and I didn't use them for the longest time because they're I guess out of print, and I don't know if she's going to make more, but I found the book, so I need to buy the book to know all the
Mm.
symbolism in it. But I do know the tarot well, and
Yeah.
that's interesting to look at in the different senses, because this deck is really neat like that. So Marga, I hope that was helpful for you, sweetheart, into oh, she says, thank you both. You're very welcome, Margaret. Thank you for
Yeah.
being here with us. We really appreciate it. Yes. So wonderful. I wanted to take a moment too, Fiona, and I wanted to, talk a little bit about what's been going on with you and what's been going on with me a little bit, maybe, and when, kind of share that with everybody.
Right. Everybody got a spare week to sit and chat with us.
I know, but
Yeah.
we're like busy, but we're changing in different ways, in really cool ways, though. And as we were talking before the show, and we were talking about what's going on, it was pretty interesting. So you're going through a change through some sort that is, really different than what you have done in the past with yourself, right?
For sure, yeah. So it was interesting because when Star asked me to share my website with her, it suddenly really hit me that I'm totally in transition. It's weird, like when you begin to make changes and move from A to B, everything's in turmoil, everything's in a bit of a mess, so to speak. So what am I changing? Well, I have a teaching background, first of all, and I've always brought that into everything I do. So, with all the artwork and demonstrating things and just being there explaining things and, giving instructions for stuff and talking people through things. It's like, yeah, that's me. I can do that. Great. I have taken the decision to change my online business in a big way. So up until now, I was sharing all of my hand painted silk scarves. So I paint, or I have been painting on silk for 20 years now. Can you believe that? Since my first Saturn return. I'm in my second Saturn return, and now it's almost like I'm laying it down. It's like we're done. I had that big long cycle, so it really fits well. So I'm putting the silks down, and in its place, in a way. I mean, they're going to go in the back door, so they're not completely gone. But in place, I'm going to be, now I already am creating silk painting classes for those who'd like to learn all the hints and tips and all the things I've learned over the years. And I feel it's always really good, when people watch you plying your craft, so to speak, it's really great to be able to say, hey, well, I've got 20 years of experience. I learned all these techniques, all these abilities, all these different skills, and I'm going to share them with you now. I'm going to pour everything that I know and everything that I can without any sense of competition or, fear of everyone else having them. They're going out there, they're going into a package. I'm going to teach it online. So that's hopefully coming up with it by about June. I hope to have the first course up and running for beginners, sort of intermediate people who are professional and want to open their shops and sell silks. And I'll be giving you everything you need to know. And you can sort of see behind me, I paint acrylics as well. So I've decided to take the plunge, and when I put the silks in the back door, I'm going to push the acrylics into the foreground, which is quite a big step for me. It's like just taking a deep breath and saying, yeah, I do this too, and I love this too, and this is up now. So while I'm busy rearranging all of that, I also continue to do readings and help people. And it's funny actually, because some of the more, I don't know, talking about in terms of readings, I do like to do them online. I share them a lot on Instagram and sometimes on Facebook. And it really struck me how the best readings sometimes come, I'm saying best in the sense of coming from that deep space and being meaningful. It's like when people are in difficulty in your life and you meet them and they share something with you, and then it's just that quiet moment. I love to just say, should we pick a couple cards, you know? And we'll pick a couple of cards and we'll just go from there, and things start to open. And, you know, the more they open up and everything's given space, and it's like, you know, I take a deep breath, the honesty comes in, you drop into the heart. And it's amazing how you begin to get insights. And especially if you share with another person, I'm sure you find that too, Star, when you're talking to someone and it's that bouncing backwards and forwards, and it's a sharing, and one thing opens another, then the other person says something, and you end up going to the most amazing places, don't you? And it's always, I don't know about you, but I find it when I do a reading for someone or for a group, it's like whatever's up, it's up for me, it's up for you, it's up for everyone. And it's so true that when we're all in a space together, it's just like, this is us, this is up, it's up, and it touches us all. And it's just that sweet moment of letting it in and realizing that we're all in this together. There is no separation. We're all in this together, and we all share together. So, yeah. So
that is so true.
Hope I answered the question. I got a bit sort of went off on a tangent, but yeah. So continuing to do readings and my artwork and teaching, and getting my colourful acrylics out there. So, and what about you?
Awesome.
Star, you shared exciting news at the beginning of last week, didn't you? And I know lots of people watching here will know all about it, but do share what you've got up your sleeve.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, I am transforming myself too with the astrology school, SiriusAstrologySchool.com. It's where I'm going to be teaching vibrational astrology, like an apprenticeship program. So I'm really excited about that. It starts in September 19th will be when it starts, and it will be a probably 2.5-year program. But it's exciting. I mean, if you go through the whole thing, if you don't, then you don't. But you know, it's gonna be for someone who may know a ton about astrology and wants to learn vibrational astrology, or someone who knows nothing and wants to learn vibrational astrology. And you can go all the way up to, you know, that 2.5 years would be like to become, you know, a consultant. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's my new thing. But of course, I do consultations all the time. I love it. I feel so blessed to be able to help so many people with vibrational astrology and tarot cards, you know, and clients and stuff. So I love doing it, and I want to do more of these videos like this on my YouTube page, which I've been loving doing as well. I started that in September last year and have been doing weekly forecasting videos, which is pretty cool. I really have enjoyed doing that. So this is my next new thing.
You know, there's something really sweet about sort of chatting to an astrologer. So I find that anyway, you know, you're talking about something, and so the astrologer just says, "Oh, wait a minute, we'll just pull your chart off." And so the chart and click. Oh, you're just going through blah blah blah. Oh, right, yeah. So
yes,
that's really sweet, isn't it? Just to, I suppose it's the same energy when I pull out the cards and we start chatting. It's just something, I don't know,
right,
nice about that. It's like something that you do from the heart, something that you do well, and just in the moment when it's appropriate, when it's relevant, you're able to just draw on those resources, aren't you, and share them lovingly. And that's so good. Yeah.
I know. It's so nice, isn't it? I love it. So how about we take another person? Sure. Okay, so let's see. Psychic Samandy, she says, "What's next on my spiritual path?" Thank you, Sandy. Hi, Sandy. Hope you're still with us, honey. My astrology course is SiriusAstrologySchool.com. Can you type that in there for me, Sandy? I'll type it in. Spelled like that. Okay. So your question is, what's next on your spiritual path? Okay, let's see. You're welcome. You're welcome, Samandy. I don't know if the Facebook can look at YouTube. I don't know, you guys could let us know if you guys can see each other's comments, but we see everybody's comments on Facebook and YouTube, together. So just so you know, we are able to see both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and if you type your questions in, or you don't have to type a question, just type that you want a card. We'll randomly pick and answer questions or give cards for them. So do you have a card pulled, Fiona, or do you want me to pull one, sweetheart?
I'm just pulling one here. Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'll start then. Mm-hmm. So this is the Knight of Cups, Samandi.
Yeah, how do we pronounce that? Is it Samadi?
It's Sandy. We can call her Sandy.
Okay, I see that now. It's coming up. Sandy, right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So Sandy, this is the card of the Knight of Cups. Okay, I need you to work on, I'm depicting this as you, right? I know you're a woman, but I'm depicting this as you because I think you need to bring yourself to a space of loving yourself more. I think you give a lot to other people. I know you do psychic work. I don't know much about it, but I do know you do psychic work. And, you know, I feel like you give a lot to other people. So you need to take good care of yourself. Take good care of yourself and bring yourself love. Make sure that you do so that you can, yep, I love the Knight of Cups. But I don't think he's coming to rescue you. I think it's you're coming to rescue you. Usually I say, oh, girl, you got a guy coming to rescue you. I'm not feeling that with this card. This card is saying you need to rescue you. So do that. Self-love, protect yourself. If you like get stuck with, you know, people that are negative around you, clients, get a piece of black tourmaline, a big chunk like this, and leave it on your desk. It'll deflect that negative energy away from you. Or a big piece of rhodochrosite, which is like this, put it on your desk. It'll deflect and bring in positive energy. So those two would be nice, Sandy. But, you know, I think it's important for you to nurture and take care of you more than anything. That's really important for you. And what were you getting?
Actually, the way this works, it really complements what Star was saying, Sandy. It's lovely. Finding the balance. There we have the yang symbol. Okay, so definitely finding the balance. I mean, listening to what Star has just been sharing, and you asking what's next in your spiritual path. This is very much about there's a real tendency to go way out on a limb, Sandy, way out on a limb, and to just sort of find yourself in a space of whoa. It feels like, you know, the image that's there. It's like, you know, these some old American movies where they reach the motel late at night and they're drawing up in the darkness and there's some old neon sign and it's flickering, you know, where it flickers and it's not working properly. That's the image that I'm getting. You know, it's like running out of energy, running out of fuel. You're really being asked to find that self-care, to really slow down and not to unnecessarily give your energy out, not to be distracted by too many things at once. There's a tendency for that too. I think it's really important for you to get some focus into this. And even though two or things may seem attractive to you at the moment, truly you're going to really do yourself a service by picking one of them. And just so by picking one, I know we sometimes get into space and we say, I can't make a decision, they all look good. You know, you sometimes just have to be really, really practical and really clear and really honest and say, imagine you were your own best friend. Give yourself a piece of solid advice. What's the best decision you can make right now? What's the most practical decision you can make? Clear and logical, what's going to move you forward, and put everything else to one side. Get your path really, really clear and focus on what's going to get you up and going. And it feels like up and going. Definitely feels like up and going. It feels like where you are at the moment, it's like, feels like time to move on from that and time to bring something else in. So focus, take care of yourself, really find that balance. No waste of energy, no waste of resources. Just you be clear and get that clear line. You've got this, Sandy.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I love how that connected with the Knight of Cups and nurturing yourself. You have been focusing and working on yourself. That's awesome. I'm really glad to hear that, Sandy, because I know if you don't, and especially doing the work that you do, you can get very drained. It's important to do that. And nice. Okay. So let's look up here. Tina Khan says, I have something going on tomorrow and could do with the card reading to help me get through it. Sure, like we don't need your details. We'll just give you cards to look at. Yeah.
Sure. Sounds good.
Yes, that's perfect.
Just like a little sort of you come to the crossroads and it's just a little pointer, isn't it? This could be useful. So in that sense for you, Tina.
Yes.
Ooh. Okay, do you want to start, Star, or shall I? Or?
You can go ahead and start.
Right, I've got a very interesting card here, Star. It's interesting that I just spoke about coming to the crossroads. It's a Star Awakening card. Okay, so this is a card. If I knew nothing about you, and actually I don't know anything about you apart from the fact you've got something going on tomorrow, so it's ideal. But not knowing anything about you, this is a card which tells me that you're about to get a bit of an insight, a bit of a revelation. Something's about to open up for you that you weren't aware of before. The 6 is always so beautiful because it means as above, so below. It's a beautiful symbol of wholeness, unity, things coming together. So if we tie this in with your question, I think you're going to see how things that seemed unrelated before are going to sort of click into place. Very often it's like, the sum of all the parts just creates something new, something bigger, something more exciting, more resourceful. So I think you can go into tomorrow's meeting feeling very hopeful and very sort of optimistic in a way that, what you're bringing to the table, what it is that you have to offer, it's definitely going to be something very, I would say something joyful. This card is normally, the Star Awakening is normally linked with something very joyful, something that might make you want to skip or dance or sing or whatever. So don't, if you've been having any worries about tomorrow, just relax and chill. It's all going to be good. You're well prepared and things are going to unfold the way they are. Just remember that, you can't make anything happen tomorrow. You're going to go in there with an open heart and trust, and it's just going to do exactly what it needs to do. I think you're in a good space and things are looking up for you.
Muted my mic.
I lost the sound. Okay.
Yes, no, I just muted my mic because I was typing. So I love what you said there, and the card that I actually pulled for you is interesting as well, because I think what it says to what Fiona was saying, this is the Hermit card, and the Hermit card is maybe tonight, and I don't know what's going on with you either, but maybe tonight it's time to pull yourself in and rein yourself in. I know it's Thursday night, but maybe time to pull yourself in and quiet yourself so that you can just have some time to yourself to, have some peace with yourself. And the Hermit always goes somewhere with the lantern he has in his hand, and that always means that the lantern is always like the light within. So although he may hermit himself up, he still has his lantern, which is representative of the light that's in. So I think it's important for you to do that, like this tonight, since it's an important thing going on tomorrow. Go to bed early, get your shower, get to bed, you know what I mean? All of those things are really important for you. I think that it would be wise for you to do that. I think that things tomorrow will likely come out much more stable, because I pulled a second card to look at that, because it was like, okay, tonight that's what's to do. But tomorrow, the second card I got was the Queen of Coins, and she's the Queen of Earth, and she's saying be very stable. If you do the Hermit and you kind of hermit yourself away tonight and take care of yourself, you'll be the Queen of Coins, which rhymes with your Capricorn moon too, because I know your chart. Will get you to kind of like balance yourself out and kind of do what you need to do, that important thing that you have to get done tomorrow. So I think that, the kind of piggybacks what Fiona was saying, on a sense of just keeping yourself balanced, right? I hope that was helpful for you, Tina. So yeah, that's funny. She says, just an observation, but color-wise, we both look like we connected our surroundings. That's so cute.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true.
It is. I was like, wow, we do.
Yeah, that was just
we didn't even do that on purpose.
No. Oh, thanks for sharing that, Tina. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys would like to type in, if you are watching and you haven't gotten a card yet, feel free to say hi or say, like a card. We are happy to answer cards if you would like, or questions, or pull cards, I should say it that way. You're so welcome, Tina. Thank you. I'm going to put up AP here. AP says, hey, both, may I please also get a reading? Thank you. So AP, we can just pull AP a card.
Okay. I keep losing the chat box, but it's okay. You're
losing the chat box?
Yeah, I've got it back again, but it's a bit temperamental.
Oh, okay. So
right. So AP. Yeah, here we go. Ah. So, Star, do you want to kick off?
Okay, sure. I can start. The first thing I see is that I pulled 3 cards, but I'm only going to talk about one here. This is the card I pulled, and this is the 6 of Swords. The 6 of Swords is about traveling on, near, or by water. Also, it is talking about taking a break of something. If you've been stressed out or you're having a difficult time or things are difficult for you lately, take a break. There's nothing wrong with you taking a break because it's almost like it's needed. If you could take a break and go to the beach or the water somewhere, that would be really healthy for you and helpful for you. I think that's important, but just at least getting some kind of release, some kind of like release from the daily grind, because it feels like to me you've had so much going on in your world that you haven't had a chance to really just take a break and enjoy time for yourself. So that, going back to what we talked about at the beginning of the show, when we were saying that it was important for us to kind of, in a sense, it was important for us to kind of communicate and love to ourselves. I think that this could also be pushed into that, like communicate love and take a break and give yourself some time that you need to just relax, so if you can this weekend, that would be a wonderful thing to do. So Fiona, what card did you pull?
Okay, so I have the Deeper Knowing card. You see that? There we go. So Deeper Knowing, when we get caught up in some sort of problem, some sort of difficulty, something that's causing us a lot of emotional stress, something that might be keeping us awake at night and just keeping us on edge, it's important to realize that in those moments where you've got confusion running in the mind, at the moments where there's fear in the mind, at the moments where there's any question coming up and lack of clarity, I just want you to know, AP, that these moments aren't telling you about the truth. And that's so true. So any fears that your mind might be dishing up to you, any stories, any sort of lack of clarity, I'm feeling confused, I'm feeling fearful, or I don't know the way ahead, and what decisions do I take? It's all in the mind talking. So the good news is the Deeper Knowing card is calling us to go underneath that. And the Deeper Knowing card is saying, on a deeper level, in the quietness of your heart, what the right step is to take. And it's one that's been covered by, it's almost like this veil that's over it, of all the fear, everything's, jangling away. When we just take the time and honestly pull it apart and reveal what's underneath, that deeper knowing, that voice can speak to you and reveal to you what it is that you need to be looking at and what it is you need to be doing. So I would say to you, you know how to move ahead and you know what to do. So exactly as what Star was saying, find a bit of time to just take time out. Take time out. It could be as simple as going into the back garden or your backyard and just sitting against a tree, going into a local wood or forest, or even in your bedroom, if that's the best place you can go to. Close the door, get the stillness, get the quietness, turn the phone off, and just let that stillness come. And just sit there and breathe and just let it go. Just watch it, let it go, and breathe and let it go, and just keep dropping the whole time. And as you drop, you begin to see that all those fears, it's just like they pop, just they dissipate like bubbles. You know, kids swim below these bubbles, they all start to dissipate. And what you get left with is this still, quiet space. And it's in that stillness that your heart just softly and gently begins to reveal to you what it is you need to know. And out of that quietness, you get that really still honesty saying, hey, this is the way ahead. And it can sometimes be so quiet that you almost don't get it, yeah, but the quieter you are, the more you're going to know. And so I would just say to you that whatever you're going through, you have got the full capacity just to do this, find that quiet space. And just, as I said at the beginning, all of this stuff, if there's emotion in it, if there's upset, if there's lack of clarity, it's not informing you of the truth. That's such good news. Yay. Such good news. It's not the truth. And you just know to go under that. So take time. The more you practice it, the better it gets. But take time to go into that quiet space and just access that deeper knowing, because you always know deeper truth than what you think you know on the surface. Okay.
That's beautiful. I love that. That's really beautiful. Hopefully that was resonated with AP. AP said great message. So that's cool. Okay, so the next person is going to be Angelica. Angelica, I would like to know where my career is headed. Am I going to see a promotion or a raise? So since we're not answering yes or no questions, we'll just like tell you what we see as far as your career is concerned. Yeah, little guidance with that. Thanks, Letty. Letty says great pairing of cards. Thank you. I like this deck, the Saki Saki Tarot and the Calm of Sea of Calm. So yeah, your career. Okay, so the first thing I see, well, I'll start if you want me to, Fiona.
No, it's good. You start off, and
okay,
then I'll jump in and share.
So the first thing I see, this is the 7 of coins. As you see, there's a rake and a hoe here, and there's this beautiful, garden that's still blooming, still in its way. And, the coins always represent your career, your money, your finances. So it makes sense to me that this card is saying that you're needing to take good care of it. You're needing to turn the dirt and plant the seeds and all of that stuff so that you can make things happen for yourself. It could very much be communicating that you can find something, something very good as you're doing this. So something good within your work sphere if you're doing this. So, you ask the question, if I see a promotion or raise, this could be a possible yes. It's not a definite yes, but it could be if you do the work. So, but what it's asking of you is to do the work. That's the most important part of it. So that's kind of where I would leave that. But I think your career is like, in a sense of just what is this about your career? I think that this is telling me your career is growing, and you're going to need to tend to it, but it is growing. So Fiona, what did you have there?
Yeah, so interestingly, the card I've picked this time is one of the chakra cards. So in the deck I also have 7 cards relating to the chakras. And I always see it as something quite significant when one of them come up. Well, insignificant in a way that there's a deeper aspect to it. Now, Angelica, we've got the solar plexus chakra here. Thy will be done. Not my will, but thy will. So, in terms of you asking about your career, you know that the solar plexus is linked to the idea of personal will as opposed to divine will. And so this is really interesting as it start coming up in this context. So where do you, when you're in your career, when you're in your job, I would ask myself the question, Angelica, so are you willing to be guided in your life and in your work? Are you willing to be guided and tune in to what the universe is asking of you and moving from that deep space in your heart, moving with honesty and clarity? The solar plexus is very much about taking care that when an obstacle, a seeming obstacle or challenge arises, because ultimately they only arise in our mind, don't we? Everything's just happening and it's what we respond to and what we make of it. But the solar plexus is very much about, where are you perhaps trying to push your will? Are you trying to push your will in any way onto the situation, onto others? Where are you pushing just for the sake of it? Where are you wanting something to happen as opposed to allowing, just stopping allowing? This is what this is about, allowing with love and honesty. Now, remember at the beginning, I don't know if you were on at the start of the show, we each picked a card and to sort of set the scene for the show. And the card I picked was grace. And I was talking about, getting really quiet and humble and tuning in. And when you tune in with an open heart and really from a place of stillness, what is it that you receive? And I think in this case, it's about being really, really honest, really open and honest to what the universe is asking of you. And responding fully to that, that when you see what it is that you've been asked to do, respond to that. And it may not be what the ego or the mind thinks. It may be in the complete other opposite end of the spectrum, but you're being asked to take a certain step. And sometimes we have to really eat humble pie, don't we? We have to really say, whoa, I wanted, but I wanted to be, I wanted that promotion, or I wanted this or that, and I wanted the boss to see me. And it's, yeah, it's just really about taking a deep breath, breathing out, and saying, what am I being asked to do? And I want you to really trust, Angelica, whatever your career, whatever your work opens up, it's just perfect for you wherever you are in your life right now. It's the perfect teaching. It's the perfect opportunity. And your job is to say yes with an open heart without creating more ripples and growing through that acceptance, taking it in and saying, yes, this is me. This is what I've got to offer. I feel you've got a great way ahead of you, Angelica. And I think the important thing is just stay with that clarity. And I get a sense you're good at that. Stay with the clarity, stay with the honesty, and don't try and fight. Don't push things. So this is saying also waiting for the right moment. Everything happens in perfect divine timing. So don't push. Thy will, not my will. Just allow that to unfold in perfect timing. Okay.
Yes, that was beautiful. Thank you for that. Hopefully that was helpful for you, Angelica. And Letty, you said, am I too late for a card? And the answer is no. We have a few more minutes. I think we can take 1 or 2 more cards, but that's probably it. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you, where can everybody find you online these days? Because I know you're in the middle of this shift.
Okay, where can you find? Actually, in quite a few places. There's my. I'm on Instagram and Facebook. I have pages called Silken Circle. So SILKEN and Silken Circle. So Facebook. I sometimes share readings there. On Instagram, I share lots of readings on a regular basis, and I have my personal profile. There's also my blog, which is simply called FionaStolze.com. I share all sorts of things. I'm reviving it again this year. I'm sort of breathing a lot more life into it, and I'm going to be sharing all sorts of things, including readings. And I've started to post some things up on YouTube as well. So you can find me at FionaStolze.com there. I used to regularly, really religiously and regularly post things up there, lots of silk painting things, readings, but now I'm back. And of course, you know what it's like in the online world, Star. So I had 2 or 3 years out because I was emigrating to Canada and I was doing a certain job and studying, and I had to focus on that. And you know what the online world's like. If you ease up just for a short while, it's so unforgiving, isn't it? It's like, boom, the ratings drop. You have to be there showing up every day, every day, every day, which I do again. So it's growing. But one last thing. Yes, I'm putting the silks sort of in the back room, as I said earlier. But I do have a sale on, and it runs tomorrow as well. And it's for Valentine's Day. There's a 30% discount on my silks. I know they don't really quite fit in with the readings here, but Etsy, and it's Silken Circle again, SILKENCIRCLE. So yeah, so lots of different things there, and if anybody wants to get in touch with me, I'll have a reduced rate available for anyone who's been watching the show and wants to email me. I think you'll be blending in the nice little ticker thing with our details afterwards, won't you?
Yes, and also Ash asked, could I post the links for us here, please? The links are all in the description box on the YouTube channel. When this goes off live, you'll get the description box, or you might be able to find it before it's while we're still live. I'm not sure, but it's definitely going to be there in the description box. All of the links to where you can find her and myself online and such. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please feel free to do so as well. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, awesome. This has been cool that we were able to do a live that the two platforms, and next time we do it, we'll give more notice so you guys know to plan. More people can plan to be there. But definitely, this was really fun. I enjoyed doing this. And I enjoyed connecting with you like this again, Fiona. And I hope that we get to do it again soon.
Me too. It just feels like yesterday, doesn't it? It's amazing how time goes by, and then it all starts to kaleidoscope, and you step in, and it's like, whoa.
I know. It does. And the links to email us are below if you'd like a personal consultation. I know we're both giving a discount right now for consultations, especially today. If you have gotten if you watch this, just message us, email us, and tell us you want to get a consultation from us. We'd be happy to do one and give you a discount. But yeah, this has been fun, and I hope that we get to do this again sometime soon. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, everybody. And I hope everybody that watched liked the show and like that we were able to share a little bit of ourselves and our wisdom. And we will see you on the next one.
Okay, take care. Lovely having you all here. Bye now.
Bye, everybody. Namaste.